Best Irish music on irishradio.org with Jerry Byrne.
I'm Jerry Byrne, Irish Radio it is. Now, since the onset of COVID-19 and all the rest of it, I'm speaking to many artists, musicians, singers and entertainers, also people involved in the community as well. I'm delighted to say hello to a gentleman who is a living legend in music from Ireland, a gentleman who is regarded by so many, indeed many of his peers, as one of the greatest country singers to ever actually come out of Ireland, internationally recognised indeed also. I'm delighted to say hello to the one and only Ray Lynam. Ray, how are you?
Jerry, good to talk to you. I'm fine, thank God.
Same as that. Ray, you've had a heck of a career in music. It all started off in 1969, I believe.
Yes, late '69. In August of '69, we rehearsed and we did two couple of carnivals actually in September of '69. And then we didn't work really until the early part of 1970 when Mick Turkin and Release Records took us over and appointed Sean Riley as our manager.
Right. And that was in sort of in late '69, '70. Then you started out. You started out in 1970 itself.
Yeah, we did.
Right.
Sean began to fill the diary then, and we recorded I'm Busted.
Yes.
Which was our first single. Which just won't come to mind what was on the flip side. I'll think of it in a moment.
Yeah.
And then later, maybe a few months later, we began to record an album, which included Gypsy Joe and me, and that really, I think, was about 71 at this stage. And that really got things going for us.
Yes, Gypsy Joe and me was it was absolutely huge, and it was huge. Not for a couple of weeks; it was huge for months on end.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it kept going and going, and also in England, Stan London in one of the local radios used to play it very, very regularly over there, and it got us known among the Irish as well in England, which was a great help.
Indeed so. It was, I think that the song Gypsy Joe and Me was sort of a defining, corner-turning situation for yourself and the Hillbillies at the time.
Absolutely, Jerry, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're heavily influenced, Ray, in music with American country.
Yes. I'd have to confess to that. And it's always been so. Ever since the beginning, when I first heard bluegrass music, which is pretty similar to our own traditional music here, it was the one which really led me to listen more and more to American country.
Right, now you've taken you've recorded it's fair to say huge amount of very well decisively picked tracks which very much suited you and managed to do them and make them your own.
Yeah, I think also the help of the two main stalwarts in the Hillbillies, which was the band at the time, which was Kevin Sheeran, our leader, and John Ryan, who usually was the musical part of the musical production,
Yeah, I mean those
and they would steer you towards what kind of suited,
right,
and also our personal likes,
Yes, I mean those two guys have gone on. I mean they're huge names in music themselves, and creating of music as well.
Oh, absolutely! Two great musicians. Terribly lucky to have had them in the band,
Indeed. Now you also your first I believe your first chart success was Sweet Rosie Jones.
Oh yeah. I'd almost forgotten it. Yeah, it was very difficult back then to get hold of country music, but the one artist that you could get hold of was Buck Owens. And that song, it's a kind of a big story song, sad song, and it appealed to us at the time, so we just simply recorded it, and it seemed to go down well.
Yes, certainly were a storm. Now, also, you did the Wembley Country Music Festival, a huge event.
Oh, huge event, and we were very privileged to be able to do it, and in all fairness. And because I remember our first year in particular, it was the first and last time that they had the audience entirely around the pool, Wembley pool itself. So there was a section of the audience actually behind us, and to play to such a crowd was phenomenal. And you were playing to country music lovers. All of them were country music lovers. It was unlike the dances that we were doing at home. It was very unique, and we were very privileged to be there.
Indeed, it was really only the top names, to be honest, who actually got on the bill.
Yes, and that's why I say we were definitely honoured, to be there.
Indeed,
and it is the power of good as well,
Indeed. Now you teamed up also back in the 70s with Philomena Begley, and you recorded many hit duets and albums, including in 1975 an incredible song that was a hit for you was My Elusive Dreams.
Yeah, I heard Philomena sing first on a Margot television show that I was appearing on as well, and after the show I was talking to Sean Riley, our manager, and I said, wouldn't it be lovely to do a duet with Philomena? And he says, why don't you ask her? And I approached her, and luckily enough, she was up for it in a big way. And Elusive Dreams was one of the songs we picked, and as you say, it proved to be hugely popular. In fact, the whole duet thing was a revelation, to us. How popular it became.
Indeed, it was it was something which really worked. Your two voices, managed to blend just perfectly. And the other thing was there weren't at the time many, male, female, duet performers at the time.
Yeah, it was very, very unique here. There probably was a few in the early show bands. But certainly not in country music, and so we were kind of the first in our genre, if you like, to do it, and we were lucky. It's just very lucky with the way that the voices blend, and how the keys suited one another, because you could duet with a very, very fine singer and suddenly find that keys were incompatible, that you had to make too many adjustments or whatever. So very lucky.
Indeed, it certainly worked. I mean, and it was absolutely huge. Now, this was this duet thing was on top of both of you continuing, on your solo career as well.
Yes, and the odd thing about it was that Philomena had her own band, and likewise with me, I had my own band. So we worked very little together because we were very busy individually touring Ireland and England, and so it was never overplayed, if you like. When we did get together, it was a real novelty.
Yes, it truly is, incredible. I mean, you've been a trailblazer in many ways. I mean, you had a huge success back in 1971 with the Christmas song "Santa Looks a Lot Like Daddy," which was absolutely huge.
Oh yeah, oh gee, you're reminding me now of the oldies, all right. Another Buck Owens song, in fact.
Yes. And it went a storm because it was new, it was different, and it really took off for you then. I mean, the other song I think which you had on the B side of Busted, was it Heartaches by the Number?
Correct. Yeah, well done, Jerry. Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Right now, you numerous chart chart hits like the song "The Selfishness of a Man," the brand new "Mr. Me." I can't believe that you've stopped loving me. All of these are chart successes, and with Philomena Begley, you also had a huge chart success. You're the one that I can't live without.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was our first single, in fact, and very popular, that one. But with our fans.
Yes. No, the style of the songs that that you've recorded is kind of it's sort of along the George Jones, Merle Haggard type of style.
Yeah, I mean, George Jones, I suppose, certainly had a huge influence on me in the early days. I was just and still am, a huge fan of his voice. To me, he was magic.
Yes.
So I suppose, like, from trying to copy what he was doing in my own miserable way, managed to establish a style of my own,
Yes, I wouldn't say it was a miserable way. It certainly is. It's a style that that it really is. Believe me, it's a style. I've spoken to so many artists in Ireland who, have said to me about your incredible voice. It really is, and it sort of stands out on its own.
Oh, thanks very much, Jerry.
And you've managed to be very, very selective in the tracks that you picked. I mean, you had a huge success with the "He Stopped Loving Her Today," the George Jones song. Also, another one. There's "Girls," there's "Women," there's "Ladies." A song like "Mona Lisa Lost Her Smile," which managed. You've put your own stamp on those particular songs, and you've actually managed to make them your own and make them absolutely huge.
Yeah, Mona Lisa really was a big song. Terrific song to begin with. So you know that you're on to a kind of a winner immediately when you hear that type of lyric and melody together. And the arrangement, I think, that we eventually wound up with was unique as well to ourselves. So that's one we were very happy with.
Yes. Yeah, fabulous song over the years. You played. You literally have played all over the country. Also in the UK as well. You've done not alone the dances, but also numerous concerts. And more recently, you were doing concert work together with the cooperation with other artists.
Yeah, that seems to have been the way that it has gone here, particularly for us aging artists. Packages seem to work and draw people into concert halls, and it's a huge bonus because you don't have to do a long set, which suits us probably at our age now, and then the different variety between the different singers, is great.
Yes, it certainly gives choice. I wouldn't say aging. It's the word Ray is mature.
Oh, is it? Well, someday you'll explain the difference.
Yeah, or another word could be well established. Also.
Oh, well, nice one.
Ray, you've had tremendous experiences in performing. You've performed at the top of your game for absolute years at this stage. But one thing that you or nobody else saw coming was the current situation we find ourselves in.
Oh, we certainly did not. No. I really feel for the musicians, the lads who and all of the the road crews that work alongside us. Must be tremendously hard on them. We miss the gigging, of course, but those lads probably depend on the industry for their living. So it's very sad for them.
Indeed, it is. And there's just. There really is just so many connected to the arts. It's the sound and lighting guys. It's the actors, the theatre, the musical shows. All of the dances, all of the the people who played in the clubs and the pubs. All over the world. I mean, quite literally everybody out of work. It's truly incredibly difficult.
Oh, extremely so. I don't know what's going to happen. I guess we just have to accept what's there at the moment, but it's difficult for them now, and I really feel for them.
Indeed so, and it's it certainly is. It's a difficult situation. The only thing about it is that on a positive note, every pandemic that has ever hit mankind has gone. And probably we're better fixed in the world today to be able to get a vaccine than we would have been 100 or 200 years ago.
I agree. This will pass.
Yes, and everyone will get. It's just a case of surviving at the moment and sort of taking precautions with the way that things are.
That's it. Well, exactly. You put it exactly right.
Ray, listen, it's been absolutely lovely to catch up with you. Congratulations on all your success over the years. And listen, looking forward to when it's safe to do so, seeing you out and about in action once again. In the meanwhile, stay safe and stay well.
Thanks very much, Jerry, for the call. It's been wonderful talking to you. And we'll do it again. I hope so. And we'll meet up at a gig somewhere. It's been a pleasure, Jerry.